Hello, community. So great that you are back. I think Google is cooking something, so let's have a look together. At first, short update on our priors on how in-context learning works. Forget about that ICL compresses here task structure into a linear vector. We have to learn something new. Here's the study for Google DeepMind here. January 29, 2026. This is here, also with Princeton Neuroscience Institute, Princeton University. The context structure reshapes the representational geometry of our LLMs. So you see the approach that Google takes now here for maybe the next generation of transformer models is based on geometry. Now, we have to have a look at this title first. This was from 2023 by MIT on LLMs implicit learn to straighten neural sentence trajectory to construct a predictive representation of natural language. This was kind of a landmark study that was completely forgotten because what they showed is, or they tested whether the neural trajectory of a sequence of words, English words, in a normal human sentence becomes progressively more straight as it passes through the layer of the transformer network. The key, if you want, behind this insight is that straighter trajectory should facilitate a simpler prediction via a linear extrapolation. And I know what you're gonna say. So we do have an autoregressive model, a next token prediction model. The authors now calculated here in a multidimensional representation space of this particular model here, the computed sentence neural trajectory, which is a crazy wording, but they showed, it simplifies out. It becomes here a more, if you want, as a straight line and less like a topological mess. How they did this? Well, for each sentence in each layer, they computed here the sentence curvature as the average of the angles between the vectors that are connecting the adjacent words. Simple mathematical formulas, great. The findings now of this study today here by Google is, if we have a natural language in general, or we have a simple grid walk structure in our logic, an extensive straightening is happening in the middle layer of our transformer architecture, from the layer 15 to the layer 25. So the model here actively untangles here sequence into a linear path representation, and long context increases here the strengthening of our human sentence. Now you might say that, wait a minute, a transformer architecture is a predict the next token architecture, no? So the output is a probability distribution derived from the softmax of our logits. Yes, absolutely. But the geometric structure of the hidden state of our activation that produced those logits, this is what creates here or is subject to a linearity constraint. If you want to have a little bit of a deep dive, let H be here the final hidden state, the activation, the token after passing through all the transformer layers L, and let W be the unembedding matrix where V stands here for the vocabulary size. Now you know what we're going to do next, no? The logits are calculated here as a dot product between these two elements. Now dot product is a linear projection, it's nothing else, no? And the next step that we do here in our transform architecture is just calculate the probability distribution. But you know that this is just the softmax function of our logits. So you see, we do have here everything about probability distribution. Of course, this is here the simple architecture of a transformer that was invented by Google. But you noticed here that everything is working here to have in the hidden states, in the activation, a linearity, the simplest form of predicting here the next step. And maybe it was not so clear to all of us, so therefore, short summary. Because the final readout layer is linear and the deep neural network, so all our layers 1 to L-1, acts, if you want, as a massive preprocessor with a single goal, to transform the highly nonlinear angled input manifolds into a particular state that is now linearly separable by a hyperplane, our unembedding matrix. This is the goal why we have all these different layers in our transform architecture. Very simple example. Let us examine, we have here a sequential trajectory. Yeah? So you have a sequence token 1 to token 3, and their representation at the layer L are x1 to x3. So if this sequence follows here for the transformer, for the pre-trained transformer, a predictable pattern. And you know, AI is nothing else than a pattern matching machine. And this pattern can be in logic or in a natural human narrative flow. The model simply minimizes in its internal mathematical representation the curvature. What does it mean? This means that the transition vectors, those hidden states, become collinear. So this means the internal representation of an AI creates, if you want, a velocity vector in the activation space. And to predict now x4 given a sequence of x1, x2, and x3, it simply now extrapolates along this future defining line. And this is the formula for x4. So you see, the internal prediction mechanism, the mathematical prediction mechanism, is a simple linearization. And you might say, was this the success of this classical transformer architecture here, given we wanted to have here a model that simply can talk with us? Now, if the model represents here the sequence ABCD as a zigzag or as a spiral in a particular vector space, this would require some very complex specific function, no? To guess now the next step E. But if the model transformed ABCD in a straight line in this activation space, predicting E is now trivial. Just keep on going in the same direction. But this means nothing else than the location of the maximum probability is determined by the linear direction of the hidden state. So now you understand why this linearity is suddenly so important. Let's think about the pre-training. Yeah? We have all our weights, we have our query, our key, our value, our MLPs, and they are trained to perform here this unrolling permanently for some fixed concepts. And this is what we call here typical a standard linear representation hypothesis. Now comes the big question in today's paper by Google. Let's think about in-context learning. We do not change here the tensor weight structure at all. Does the model do this on the fly for new data that it has never seen? And what are the mathematical dependencies for this activation space configuration? Now, let's do an example. I give you the prompt. The input is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. And the job of the AI is to come up here with the next segment. How is the AI doing this? Now, we know from activation dynamics that the attention mechanism attends to all the previous tokens. Now, Google finds in this study that the attention layers effectively rotate and shift the internal representation of a sequence 1, 2, 4, 8 until, in the deeper layers of our transform architecture, they form now a linear arithmetic progression in vector space, even though the input sequence is geometric. This is a hint. This is something that makes the next generation of AI so much easier. And I know what you're going to say. Wait. You say, but I just looked at the study. And Google discovered in this new study that the straightening fails in particular cases. And those particular cases are now also important for in-context learning. Those are our few-shot Q&A. So, prompt, question France, answer Paris, question Japan, answer Tokyo. You know exactly that we are looking here for the capitals of those nations. How is this working? Now, it turns out the transition here in a Q&A is not a straight line. It is not a continuation of the previous token. Of course, look at this. This is an interrupt. This is a discontinuity. So the model uses now a different geometric mechanisms to jump here from the country to the capital. This is a non-linearity. But there's another way to think about this. The strongest argument that we have for this linear representation hypothesis is the architectural concept of our transformers today. Because the transformer is defined by the residual stream. So mathematically, you see here the residual stream. The output XL is just here the input plus a sum of update where those are represented here as high-dimensional vectors or tensor structures. So this means that if you take this in your mind, and you remember that just weeks ago I showed you that Google does here some extreme in-context symbolic AI, plus I showed you here that Google invented already a new transform architecture with a temporal abstraction where we have a meta controller here for the temporal abstraction of the residual stream. If you read this new study, you suddenly see a new possibility. You see there is something brand new emerging, but it is not mentioned, it is not described by Google. This is completely up to the reader to discover this, and I would love that you have this experiment, that you can read this and you discover it yourself. Because think about it. Let's look at the residual stream. I want to give you another hint. This means, of course, that the information is preserved additively. So in a vector algebra, A and B is a linear accumulation. And you remember, for the I model to remember concept from layer 5 to the layer 30, it must write a vector direction into the residual stream and not have it destroyed by subsequent layer. And we talked about this privileged basis where the meaningful features tend to align with linear directions. And now the insight of this new study is that this linearity is only valid for the flow, not for the reasoning of our AI. So suddenly we do have a threshold. We do have a phase transition where Google tells us, listen, we found something new. We found that this beautiful linearity theorem is valid for a natural, coherent flow of information, but it falls apart the moment we start to do reasoning. This linear extraction hypothesis is only valid for tasks that rely on continuity, like the human English natural language flow, or induction heads repeating here patterns here. This is what we know. This preprint shows us here for the first time that when the model performs reasoning, this straightening metric here, this internal representation of the hidden state, this metric collapses. Some new mechanism emerges. Some new manifold suddenly becomes active. And I tell you this with a big smile. So to solve here the reasoning task, Google tells us the model does not extrapolate anymore along a line. Now the transformer performs a nonlinear jump. And of course, you know this is a kind of a manifold hop to a higher dimensional rotational space. So this means the IML is able to linearize the structure, or if you want, if you give it a prompt template, it can linearize here the logical coherent flow of this template on a structural level, but its internal reasoning is not the same because it would likely perform a complex nonlinear manifold operation for the content of this template. So this means, can you feel it? Can you feel what it means? It linearizes the structure, so the template structure, but it performs a different mathematical complex nonlinear manifold jump here if you fill in the content in this structure. Yeah, either you go with a topological data analysis, this is known for years now, or you have some intrinsic dimension estimation here on just those tokens to understand here the emerging complexity of the reasoning manifold. Now, it turns out that the current AI models do not support long-term reasoning. This is another hint. Also, geometrically, this manifold does not support long-term reasoning at all. And if you look at the behavior of the AI system, the AI policy, the strategy of the AI in planning gets trapped here in local minima or maxima and is unable to perform a long-term reasoning. So now we understand more and more that our current AI models are not able to have a long-term reasoning. You can play till the max with some new reinforcement learning by verifiable reward structures. It is inherently not able to do this. And you can try to find solutions for these symptoms. Or you design a new transform architecture. Now, I would like to give you another hint here. This is also published here January 29, 2026. This is here by University of Notre Dame, Stanford University, University of Edinburgh, Yale University, Purdue University, University of Oxford. Why reasoning fails to plan. A planning-centric analysis of long-horizon decision-making in our LLM agents. And don't say, hey, this has kind of a negative touch to it. We learn from mistakes. Whenever you see that our LLM agents fail on a particular topic, we look at this to understand how we can improve their models, how we can make it better. So please, come on. If you see a title like, hey, why reasoning fails, and it gives you a mathematical explanation of this, like here in this preprint from February 2nd, 2026, jump at this, read it, try to understand it. Because their analysis here reveals we have a core failure mode of reasoning-based policies in our current LLMs. Another big question is, will GPT-6 by OpenAI take care about this, or will it be just more of the same? And I tell you, all the studies that I read, there's only Google really open about their research, Google really publishing the results, Google really publishing also the positive and the negative sides of their research, and they're really transparent. That is just fascinating. Therefore, I would say Google is definitely a step ahead. Now, this paper raises here a central question. Can LLM-based agent truly plan over long horizons, or can they only reason locally about the next step? And yes, if I ask you this question, you know exactly what is the answer, and the answer is in a beautiful mathematical framework in this particular study. So if you want, we do have now, with these two new papers, a paradigm shift. You cannot train planning in an LLM purely via supervised fine-tuning on the reasoning traces of a big brother model. The model must learn to evaluate all the futures, not just to predict the next token. So I think you have now a good idea. There's a new generation of AI models, hopefully coming real soon.